Hello and a warm welcome to my channel. This is wishing you a very prosperous and happy 2024. Now, start of the year, thought of making stock picks for the year from an investing point of view, just like I had done one in Diwali. So for those who missed out or who are not aware of the Diwali picks, the link to those stocks is there in the description box. You can have a look at them also. Now let's move ahead with the current one, the 2024 vision, unveiling stock picks for the year. Now, frankly speaking, it was much easier to pick stocks in the Diwali time. Reason being that the stocks, the market had gone through a sideways to a decent correction. And at the same time, we had what you call many stocks had not yet taken off. So the risk reward was pretty easy that time. But this time, we've had a strong 2 months of rally. So many stocks have done a lot more, but that's the risk factor. But the tougher part was that there have been multiple monthly and weekly breakouts. So, boiling down to a select few stocks was much more tougher. Which one to leave? This was the dilemma this time for the year 2024. Now, if you've gone through the Diwali picks, you would have noticed that it was more pharma heavy. This time, it's more metals, iron and steel heavy. And I have left out banking from the list this time because somehow I couldn't get any bank to make it to the list of the top picks I have for myself this year. And it's largely large cap. 10 stocks are large cap, one is a mid cap, and one small cap. So 12 months of the year, 12 stock picks is what I have picked for the year, and we'll discuss them from here on. Now, a disclaimer before I go ahead, this is not a trading investing advice to you. This is a purely educational video based on Ichimoku, harmonic trading patterns, and Fibonacci and pattern structures. Please do your study properly, manage your risk, and accordingly take a decision in the stocks if you like them. Now let's start with them, and they are in the alphabetical order. Now the first stock which has come is APTECH. APTECH is a small cap stock established in the year 1986. It's into non-formal education and training. It has 800 centers with a global presence. Domestic revenue is 79%, while international revenue is 21%. It is a debt-free company. The last 5 years dividend payout is a healthy 51%. Promoter holding is 47.33%. FII hold 5.32%. Domestic institutions just 1.08%, while the public holds 46.22%. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala and Associates and R.K. Damani and Associates hold a significant percentage among the non-promoter holders. Now let's have a look at the charts in this, and let's see what lies ahead. So APTECH has, been there listed since 2002, and we've seen some extreme volatility in the stock, as you can see from listing a good run for couple of 8 years, and then a pullback for 5, and then another move for 4 years. Again, this COVID low, and from there, we see a nice recovery. The interesting part is that right throughout, you can see higher low formations happening and a higher high kind of position. Now, in the quarterly charts, you can see that the stock has gave a trend line breakout in the April quarter, April to June quarter, and then has done a pullback of that inside here in the quarterly charts. Let's go and now look at the monthly charts and see what we can decipher from that. In the monthly charts, there is a bullish harmonic ABCD pattern, happening, reciprocal one happening out here, which has come back. So a breakout of this chart is now seeing a pullback inside with support now near the levels of 250 to 220, 200 odd here out here. Let's have a look at the weekly charts. The weekly charts also has a bullish harmonic bat pattern. So in the monthly, we saw the reciprocal ABCD bullish. In the weekly, we can see a harmonic bat pattern at the same price. So strong possibility of out level out here. The support here is at 235 with immediate resistance at 290, 325. Let's have a look at the daily pattern. In daily, we've seen one attempt to go back above this quarterly trend line and a pullback right now with support at 250 odd levels out here. And again, a rising trend line support you can see from this harmonic pattern, first here, and then here, which is a good, healthy sign. Now, let's try to analyze where now we know that what the supports are. Let's try to look at the stock from a higher point time frame from purely from an investing angle, that what could be possible for us. So above 300 out here, 300, 325, there's a good possibility that the stock would then could then continue further ahead, 400. And then the two Ichimoku targets based on the monthly time frame in front of me are for near 500 and then near 625. Of course, these are monthly time frame, so they could take some possibility of time to happen. Hence, over a medium to long term, possibility of a good risk reward setup for the stock in this zone. So one could look for accumulation between 300 on the upside to 200 and 25, 30 on the downside for these upside levels. So now let's go to the next stock and see what lies ahead. So the next stock, like I said, I've set it up all in alphabetical order. The first one was APTECH, which was a small cap. Now this is which is the only small cap stock which I could get in the entire list. Now this one is Chumble Fertilizers, the only mid cap stock which made to my list of 12 stocks which I have in mind for 2024. Now Chumble is into the production of urea, fertilizer, agri inputs. It also has a joint venture in Morocco for potassium, what do you call, phosphoric acid, sorry, for the manufacturing of phosphoric acids. Its revenue is 58% from urea, 42% from fertilizers and agri inputs. It has 3 plants, all in Kota, Rajasthan, and it has reduced its debt over the last 1 year with a dividend payout of 23%, promoter holding at 60.56%, FII 10.85%, DII is 9.04%, and the public 19.5%. The promoters have pledged around 26% of their holdings of the company. Let's have a look at the charts now and see what lies ahead for it. The Chumble has had a very, very steady rise from since its listing in 1999, except for this period from 2008 to 2013, where it went into a sideways correction, not price, but sideways. And then again, some sideways correction here, again, some sideways correction here. It's rarely seen a deep cut back, been steady with more rises and sideways correction. Again, a very good, healthy sign for from an investor's perspective. Now, this is the quarterly outlook and keeps doing perfectly fine right now. Its previous quarterly close is near 400, and all-time high is around 490 for the stock. Large candle in the previous, in the October-December quarter out here. Let's have a look at the monthly chart and see. And the monthly, we can see it's just broken above the Ichimoku baseline out here. And start of the month today, so early days still. But last month also managed to close above it. Good, healthy sign for the stock. And with support at 340 and 300, with resistance coming up at around 400, 425. In the weekly chart, we can see a nice breakout of the Chiku, the lagging line out here above the cloud. The future Kumo also bullish. And here we can see a bullish harmonic cipher which took place from where the stock did some consolidation, a kind of a double bottom took place in the weekly charts. now trying to push its way forward from there after a lengthy period of consolidation from June 22 all the way to August 23, or more than a year, and now breaking out from there, out there. Let's have a look at the daily chart. Daily chart is nicely stretching and away. Just a bit of volatility which took place in the last week of December. So we can see some odd candles out here, but overall large green candle formations happening all the way in the stock. With support at 350 and all the way down to uh, 200, 350, then to 300 odd. So with the good support area of 350, 400 in the stock, uh, let's try to ascertain what would be the possibilities for the stock on the upside. So with this double bottom breakout the stock has done, there is a good possibility that the stock could move towards 475 odd to retest these highs. And then above that, the stock has a good potential to do furthermore on the upside till 650 odd levels, and more than that perhaps in the coming months and years, like that. So again, a good potential for from an investing point of view for the medium to long term in the stock, with the low risk high reward entry coming out here in Chumble. Now let's move ahead and discuss the next stock. So again, the emergence of a pharma stock, you could have seen in my Diwali picks that I was very pharma bullish, and they've paid good dividends so far. Continue to be bullish on the pharma sector, and this time the pick is Divi's Lab. Uh, Divi's Lab was incorporated in the year 1990 as into the manufacturing and export of API, intermediaries, and nutraceutical ingredients. It has three R&D centers in Hyderabad and six manufacturing facilities, two in Telangana and four in Andhra Pradesh, and it is setting up another one at Kakinada. It has a portfolio of over 160 products. 90% of its revenue is from overseas markets, 33% Europe, 44% from North America. Currently, it has it is almost debt free with a dividend payout of 32.4%, promoters holding 51.93%, FIIs 14.6%, domestic institutions 21.65%, while the promoters hold 11.72%. Among the non uh, promoter large holders, LIC holds 6%, while the government pension fund of Norway holds 1.22%. Now let's move ahead and look at the charts and try to decode what lies ahead. But before moving ahead, a request to everyone. So do like this video. So with Divis, we can see in the quarterly charts, phenomenal run from 2003. It's small dips around 2008 and then again 2016 to 2017. Pharma sector was the one sector which did not correct during the COVID crash and has done superbly well. So from 2017, we saw a good peak move till October 21, and then we saw a dip down from there till 2013. So a healthy correction over, and you can see the earlier correction in 2016 to 18 matches with this one. And again, prior to that, 2008 to 2009, similar. So similar corrections, pullbacks, and resumptions of rally. This fall of the retracement of the 2017 to 2021 rally was at a 50% Fibonacci ratio. And in the Ichimoku, you can see a good baseline support out there, which has pulled it back. Now let's have a look at the monthly chart. Monthly charts are suggesting the probability of, bits are inside the cloud. Again, a Kumo bounce as per the Ichimoku study coming out here, with resistance now coming at 4,500 around, above 3,975 in the monthly. A weekly is showing a bullish harmonic ABCD reversal from March 23, which has done pretty nicely, gone up. And also out here, we can see the a inverse head and shoulder pattern structure in the weekly chart breakout, which has taken place out here currently. So good possibility of a bullish breakout candidate out there. Let's have a look at the daily. Daily also has a smaller bullish inverse head and shoulder breakout, which has taken place. Also, we can see a bullish harmonic uh, crab reversal, which took place in November, from where we saw a sharp rally and again a higher low formation out here for the stock. The hourly breakout has already, the daily breakout has already taken place, while the weekly just did its job today, January 1st in the stock. There's a very good support around 3,700 to 3,600 for the stock currently in the daily. In the weekly, we can see solid support at 3,600 again, the Ichimoku baseline out here. And let's now try to ascertain what could be the possible upsides. That now we know that there is a solid support around 3,600 with these inverse head and shoulder breakouts in the weekly and the daily time frame. Now, as per the Ichimoku study and the way the stock has always bounced back sharply after retracements, you can see continuous highs happening out here, higher high, again a higher high. Keeping those projections in mind, it looks like a good stock to accumulate between 3,600 and 36, 3,700 and 4,000 for possible upsides of 4,500 and then an ATH of 6,500 in the coming months and years. So again, from a medium to long-term point of view stock with a low risk, high probability reward setting up nicely for it out here. Now let's go and look at what's live, which is the next stock for the year. So the next stock in mind that I had, like I had already said, that this time it's metal heavy. So the first of the metal stocks, iron and steel sector, is JSW Steel. JSW Steel is into the manufacturing of iron and steel products. It is India's largest steel producer. Products are hot rolled, cold rolled, and galvanized and pre-painted steel, tin plate, electrical steel grade steel, TMT steel bars, wire rods, rounds, and looms. 79% of its revenue comes from the domestic market, while 21% of it comes from exports. It has plans to further expand its capacity in India and setting up. It also has two plants in USA and one plant in Italy. Uh, it has a healthy dividend payout of 24.9%, promoter holding 44.79%, FII 26.13%, domestic institutions 9.5%, while the public holds 18.64%. The promoters have pledged for 14.2% of their shareholding. LIC has among the non-promoter highest shareholders, large shareholders, LIC is 6.58%, NAM at 2.23, Anuj Seth and Associates at 2.04%, while the Thelm Master Fund at 1.67%. Let's have a look at the charts and try to decode what lies ahead. So JSW Steel, as you can see from 2006, one sharp rise, one double bottom in the quarterly chart, again a move. And after that, the stock has done very well. We have highs out here, higher high, higher high, higher high going on, higher lows non-stop. So every pullback has seen a new high, sharp up moves happening in the stock. Relentlessly, continuously. That's the quarterly look. Neat Ichimoku setup out there. Even in the monthly, we can see a nice super move happening continuously, making higher highs, higher lows, slanting upward in a rising channel out here. In the weekly, also, you can see a trend line move pushing its way up right now steadily. And the daily also, so two last couple of candles have been a bit bearish, but you have to keep in mind that this was a huge breakout after some negative news came in the stock. And you can see this breakout at 850 saw a pullback and again a sharp move going up. So daily supports coming in at 850 odd levels for the stock, with the weekly candle showing also support near 825. Again, there's a breakout out here, that 850 breakout. We can see monthly also showing some strong support at 800, and then if that cracks down to 710. So let's now that we know the support area of 850, 800 is so strong, uh, what could be the levels I'm looking at? I'm looking for around 1100 for the stock from the medium to long term point of view. So area to accumulate would be between 900 and 800, 850, keeping in mind this strong base area out here. And being India's largest steel producer with the metal sector looking shining, this would likely continue to do better compared with the others also. So again, a good upside possibility out here for the stock. So that's JSW Steel. Now let's look at what's next. The next stock on the list is LIC Housing Finance Limited. Before I go ahead, I hope you already liked the video, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that right away. Now, LIC Housing Finance has a very steady, healthy payout, dividend payout of 17%. Government of India, the LIC, Life Insurance Corporation's principal promoter holds 45.24%. FII is 21.21%. That's a solid FII number. Domestic institutions also 21.51%. So both institutions holding a large quantity, while the public holds near 12% of the stock. Among the non-promoter large holdings, government pension Fund of Norway at 2.81%, Mirai Asset Fund at 2.48%, Bank Muscat India Fund at 2.09%. Let's have a look at the charts and try to decode what could lie ahead for it. So LIC Housing Finance had a dream run from 1999, you can see, all the way, with a small sideways volatile market from this zone out here from 2004 to all the way to 2008, 4 years of extreme volatility. And then again, a good solid run, sideways market 2008 to 2013, then a sharp dip. This is a sharp dip, 2018 all the way to 2020 out here. Now, it's after this dip that the stock has taken a lot of time to come out and again start pushing its way up. The other dips that we've seen in this quarterly chart were not that sharp. They were more sideways correction. This was an exceptional price correction. As you can see, the stock almost went back to October 2013 lows, came tumbling down there. And ever since then, it's trying to push its way out. The Ichimoku quarterly chart has also given a bullish TK crossover, which is a good sign for the stock going ahead. Future Kumo is bullish in the quarterly charts also. Monthly chart, we can see a bullish ABCD harmonic pattern from where this reversal came in March 2020. A good sharp rally, pullback sideways, and again another superb breakout. Now in the monthly, we can see that in December it completed a Ichimoku breakout. Everything properly set up for possible further upsides for it. In the weekly chart also, we can see a flag, a slanting channel fall after its first move from the COVID lows, and then again a push back. Now the good part is that we can see the stock is now starting to do higher lows out here from this one, nicely projecting its way up. Good move from March 2023 low, gaining momentum. You can see it in the weekly charts, strong green candle formations taking place for the stock. And now the frequency of large green candles keeps getting better, which is a good sign for a trending upside stock. Good breakout out here above 500 odd levels, with now support back at 500 in the weekly charts. Daily chart, today 1st Jan, solid green candle, 5% up out here. And now with solid support at 510 to 475 for the stock out here, 475 for odd levels. So good support, good area on the downside would be to accumulate till 450 for the stock. And on the upside, one could continue to accumulate till 600 odd levels. Out here, we can see some uh, resistance mod. So good level, a bigger range of accumulation, 150 points. Now, as because of this bullish breakout in monthly and quarterly charts, the upside possibility for this stock is now coming to 900 bucks. So that's a solid upside probability happening here out here for it. And we can see that the history of the stock after deep corrections has been superb. You can see from here also 165 to 515. And then if we look at this low out here of 275 or even from 300, the Fibonacci projections and all suggesting higher levels of approx 900. So again, a beauty of a stock from a medium to long term point of view, a strong, fundamentally strong company promoted by LIC and all. So one could look at the stock from investing point of view. Now let's have a look at the next stock. The next stock on the list is again a pharma stock. You can't help it. Pharma has been doing well, so we cannot skip the pharma sector at all. Next one being, of course, Lupin. Lupin develops branded and generic formulation products and API, and it is supplies to over 100 countries. It has 15 manufacturing units. Out of them, 3 of them are overseas. The 6 API facilities, 7 research facilities, and 20 global offices. It is the third largest generic company in USA in terms of prescriptions and 6th largest pharma company in India in terms of sales. Its revenue of sales, 34% domestic and 66% is international. It has a dividend payout of 18.2%. Promoter holding is 47%, FII 14.99. Domestic institutions hold a large 29.14%, while the public holds a very small 8.52%. Among the non-promoter large holders, LIC holds 8.23%, Mirai Asset Fund 1.68%, while the Government Pension Fund of Norway 1.38%. Now let's have a look at the charts and try to decode what lies ahead for it. Lupin, again, another beauty, super duper return to investors from 2002. You can see all the way to 2018, where it saw a deep correction from there. You can see from levels of 2000 all the way down to 500, steep correction of 75% for the stock. But from there, we can see a good bounce coming back. And again, as per Ichimoku, the quarterly charts are giving a bullish TK crossover signal out here. Even though the future Kumu is still a bit bearish, so it's a good time to accumulate the stock till that turns bullish out there. In the monthly, we can see a double bottom breakout happening out here now. So after the correction, good bounce back to 1200, again a pullback to 625 odd. Now pushing it, trying to push its way above this level of 1350 odd levels, with strong support coming down at 950 for the stock out here, right here in the monthly. Let's have a look at the weekly. Good ascending formation happening out here with support at 1250 and then at 1175, with a breakout which took place here at 1240 rupees. Let's have a look at the daily. Nice trend moving, a bit flat this line as per Ichimoku. So that's why 2 candles of pullback have taken place out here in it, in that zone. In the hourly, the stock gave a inverse head and shoulder breakout, which has completed its minimum target. Hence the pullback coming for the stock, with good supports coming in at 1275 to 1250 out here. So a good stock to accumulate currently would be between, on the downside, till 1250, 1225, and on the upside till 1350. Now after that, it gets into a strong breakout mode for possible upsides first of 1850, retest of this level out here, where a lot of distribution took place. And once it takes that out, probable upside, keeping in mind that the stock does sharp up moves each time of around 2600. So again, a stock which is showing good strong potential, good accumulation zone could happen in this particular area for the time being, for a good medium to long term high yield, high return stock uh, likelihood in it. So that's Lupin for you, the second of the two pharma stocks which I picked up. Now let's go and look at the next stock. Like I had said that this time I've gone steel metal heavy, bullish, more heavy weightage on them. So the next one on for you all is the National Aluminium Company, NALCO, government Navratna, established in the year 1981, is into the manufacturing of alumina and aluminium. It has a revenue of 55% in the domestic market and 45% comes from exports. It's a debt-free company with a dividend payout of 47% in it. So let's have a look at the charts of Nalco. But before going ahead, I hope by now you would like the video, subscribe to the channel. So please do share this video also with your known people. Nalco, again, a fantastic move you can see all the way till 2008, and then a large corrective formation out here from 2013 all the way till 2000. That's a huge 12 years of correction for the stock, and therefore, if we look at the from an Ichimoku time perspective also, a 8-year rally, 12-year correction, and we're just into 4 years of rally in it. So at least another 4, if not 8 more years of proper upside possible for the stock in the coming, time frame. Could be one of the big stocks of the decade, which has just started performing currently. You can see it in the quarterly charts that this is kind of a deep inverse head and shoulder breakout, more of a triangle than a IHS out here taking place, and good breakout, a sharp pullback in 2022, making a higher low and now projecting ahead with a higher high in the quarterly charts. Uh, let's have a look at the weekly, the monthly. Monthly, yes, you can see that this was that bad phase for the stock from April 22 till July 22, where sharp fall came during the Ukraine Russia war time, where metal stocks were badly beaten up. But you can see out here that how beautifully the stock held on to its breakout level, a pullback, and then a solid move. So whenever, from a chart point perspective, whenever you see a stock which gives a breakout, a pullback to its trend line of breakout and moves up, that's a very, very strong stock. One should not miss. And that's what I have recently spotted in APTECH. If that works out, it could be that's why that was one of the only, perhaps the only small cap stock which I feel has got strong potential. Now, coming back to National Aluminium, large candle in the monthly December, we saw huge, huge move of 43% out there. And let's have a look at the weekly. Weekly, again, you can see this breakout of 120 pushing its way up. So very, very, very strong support area, 120 to 110 for the stock in the weekly. Let's have a look at the daily out here. You can see strong support again at 110, 120. So cluster support zone, below that, massive support at 100 for the stock. Now that we know the good support area of 110, 120 is out there, so one could accumulate on the downside till 110, 120, and on the upside, one could accumulate all the way till 150, which is still a good 15 bucks away from here, for possible upsides of 250, 300, and a lot more, keeping in mind that 4 years are only done out of the first 8-year rally and then a 12-year correction. So strong possibility, if you want to see certain stocks which have remarkably outperformed in similar fashions, where after a large time-wise correction, stocks have done huge. There is Tata Power, there is RECL, there is PFC. So if we are looking at something similar, then this is a huge, strong potential multi-bagger stock in the making for us. So let's move ahead now with the next stock. So continuing with the metal heavy 2024 vision, next one, NMDC for you. NMDC is into the exploration and production of iron ore diamonds, sponge iron, and generation of wind power. And Navratna, the largest iron ore company in India with 7 iron ore mines, accounting for 18% of the total domestic production at 40 million tons per annum. It's also ventured into coal mining, and in 2022, it demerged NMDC Steel in 1:1 ratio. It has a dividend payout of 38%. Promoter holding is 60.79%, FII is 8.32%, domestic institutions 17.73%, public only 13.16%. Among the large non-promoter holders is LIC at 7.5%. Let's have a look at the charts now. Now, NMDC, you can see, has been a what you call just now getting to its all-time high. The all-time high was made in 2010, and since then it has only seen corrections, all the way down swinging. So a stock which is just up now breaking out, a quarterly chart breakout, which is huge. And you can see the last 2 quarters were phenomenal for the stock, from 100 all the way to 200, doubled in 2 quarters, and now still has tremendous potential. You can see out here huge consolidation phase from 2013 till 2020. So 7 years of consolidation. Prior to that, 3 years of decline. So again, 10 years of underperformance is now emerging with only 4 years done for the stock. Again, a huge time-wise stock potential out here for us, NMDC. Now, in the monthly, like in the quarterly, we can see this breakout happening. Out here, you can see in the monthly, inverse head and shoulder formation, which is given a huge breakout for a stock, pushing its way all the way up right now. Let's have a look at the weekly. Weekly support lines are at 185 to 170, and after this inverse head and shoulder breakout at 130. The daily also, so two long leg wick candles being formed out there, which is fair enough, with support at 200 and then at 185 for the stock. So in my looking, the stock is a good accumulation all the way down. If it comes down the downward till 175, while on the upward side, one could look at 225, just above this breakout zone, where some consolidation can take place over a period of some time in the short to medium term, and then it could further continue its move. So all in all, stock which one should be always looking to buy the dip, if not the breakout, and continue and do accumulations in that, need not go aggressive at one go, and continue to hold, keeping in mind the time frame for the stock of the way it's just started. The upside possibilities for the stock are around at 275, 350, and I'm sure a lot more. Again, keeping in mind what we've seen Tata Power, Bharat Electronic, BHEL, Coal India have done. So these are the ones, they are the ones who did it in 2023. These are, in my reading, could be the ones who are going to do it in 2024 also. The theme, metals, steel, and particularly PSU, the theme remains strong in my reading right now. So let's have a look at the next stock now. So the next one is Piramal Enterprises Limited, PEL. PAL is a non-diversified NBFC with assets over $10 billion with 400 branches in India. It's an Ajay Piramal Group company, and it has also acquired 50% stake in Pramekya Life Insurance. It also has investments in Shriram Group companies. In 2023, it demerged its pharma business because of the RBI stipulation for our NBFC as PIRAMAL Pharma Limited. Uh, it has a healthy dividend payout of 34.8%. The promoters have increased their holding in the company by 2.7%. Currently, promoter holding is 46.2%, FII 19.69%, domestic institutions 12.06%, while the public holds 21.56%. Among the non-promoter large shareholders is Eastbridge Capital at 6.02% and LIC at 4.65%. Now let's have a look at the charts. Piramal Enterprises 2008 onwards, good steady moves, good. So in fact, all the way till 2018, that's a healthy 10 years, the stock saw very marginal correction, steep upside. And since then, it's gone into a correction mode. You can see all the way down, then almost a double top out here, and then another pullback out here in the quarterly charts. Now, resting above the Ichimoku baseline support of 900 in the quarterly charts. Let's have a look at the monthly charts. In monthly charts, you can see the triangle probability formation taking place out here of, this being the first leg, second, third, one now another fourth one, and then probably a fifth one could happen if it is a triangle. If it is the other bullish alternative for the stock would be that the stock has completed its Ichimoku corrective uh, wave and is now set for an upside. In that case, in either cases, this level should not be broken of 580 for the stock, both of a triangle as well as a correction complete scenario. So you can see the stock is now trying to push its way up from here with resistance at around 1125 and a solid baseline of 900 out here with good support below that. Let's have a look at the weekly. Broken above the cloud, again a pullback, again solid base of 850 out here. Very, very strong base levels at this zone of 850 with a resistance around 1135 odd. After that, a possible up move till the triangle upside of 1400. Let's have a look at the daily. Good triple bottom kind of scenario, now pushing its way near the cloud resistance out here. So in my reading, the stock is an accumulation zone of 850 on the downside till 1100, 1050 on the upside. 1050 is where the monthly baseline resistance is. So in that zone, good accumulation probability for levels of 1400, 1450 odd. If that's a triangle, and then a dip again would be another opportunity. And if it breaks above this level of 1530, then the further upside is still 2300 and 2700 for the stock in the medium to long term. So, like I said, if it's a triangle, it would do something like this and then give you this huge breakout. And if it is not a triangle, then this particular move will breach above this, do some consolidation and give you the up move. So in either cases, as long as this 580 holds, it's a good accumulation zone and for healthy medium to long term upside possibility in the case of Piramal Enterprises. Now let's see the next stock. Now, yet another iron and steel metal stock in front of you, Steel Authority of India, SAIL. SAIL is a Maharatna company, produces iron and steel at 5 integrated plants and 3 special steel plants. It has a dividend payout of 28.6%, and its debtor days have come down from 26 to 18 days. It's India's top exporter The stock has come under the Benjamin Graham Value Screener, and promoter holding, which is the government of India, is at 65%. FII is 3.69%, domestic institutions 14.61%, public 16.7%. LIC among the non-promoter holders is the largest holder at 9.78%. Now let's have a look at the charts and decode what lies ahead for LIC for us. In that, there's a small error out here. Just let me correct that. It's not 850 to this level. The accumulation zone is between 200 and what do you call between 110 to 140. There's a small error out here. 110 to 140 for the stock. Now let's have a look at the charts and try to decode what lies ahead. Now, sale charts, if you look at the quarterly charts, it's a quarterly flag breakout stock, a huge move from 2000 all the way to 2008. And again, another beauty stock. You can see 8 years of rally, 13 years of, 12 years of correction, and then it has just started into its fourth year now of trend. So again, very similar to what we saw in Nalco, stock which can be, which has got not just potential for price upside, but even for time to, for a long-term point of view, to hold it for healthy returns for the stock, investors in it. So here we can see stock trying to break out above the cloud. Future Kumo, as per Ichimoku, has already turned bullish. Let's have a look at the monthly charts. Fantastic December month, 33%, 34% move with solid support now at 95 in the monthly charts out here. In the weekly, we can see some smallish resistance around 130 for it currently, 130, 140 with solid support at 100. This is that breakout out here in the 100 levels. Let's have a look at the daily charts. Daily chart continuously run some wick candles in the last 2 days with the push coming up with support at 115 and 110. So my reading, it's a solid potential to accumulate between 110 to 140 on the upside. And for possible upsides, keeping in mind the moves, it's a long overdue move for the stock for 250, 275, 50, 350, and maybe a lot more. This would be a fairly reserved, a more conservative outlook. Otherwise, the stock has phenomenal probabilities going ahead. Just keeping in mind how the other stocks, the PSU stocks have done. Keeping that factor in mind, I've kept huge probabilities for the stock. Now let's have a look at the next one. Before going ahead, there was this factor in mind that why haven't I picked up any energy stock this time, or they've done superbly well around, or why not capital goods, because they have also done infra stocks, etc. Because yes, they are superb and they would have also, but restricting myself to a small list, they somehow didn't make it to that list. I'm not saying that they cannot do well. They have potential for also doing, but in my reading, it somehow didn't come into the potential of that kind of pushback. So anyway, coming back to the next stock, it is SONA BLW Precision Forgings Limited. NSE symbol is SONA Comms. And it's a, into the designing, manufacturing, and of engineering of automations, systems, and components of differential assemblies, gears, conventional and hybrid motors, BSG and EV tractor parts. It has a very low debt and no pledge. Promoters do not have zero pledge, a very high FII holding in the stock in the current moment. Promoter holding is 29.76%, not very high. FII is 33.35%. Domestic institutions, 27.5%. So again, FII, DII, huge holding. Public, near 9.39%. of the company. Among the non-promoter large holders, Government of Singapore Fund has 7.86%, Mirai Assets 2.37%, and Fidelity has 1.03%. Now let's have a look at the chart. Now, Sonacom has given a bullish in the monthly charts, a bullish harmonic ABCD pattern breakout in December 2022. And ever since then, it's done a 62% retracement of that move and continues to rise. And now in December, it managed to close above the Ichimoku monthly baseline, which is usually quite a good signal for the stock. In the weekly, we can see the stock has pushed its way outside the cloud completely, and future Kumo is also quite bullish for the stock. In the daily time frame, again a superb move with a breakout has happened around 625 for the stock, with support there and below that at 600. Now, it's a good stock again because keeping in mind the fundamentals very strong, large FII and DII holding in it and no promoter pledge out there. So one should look at accumulate on the downside till 600 odd, and on the upside, till probably near that 650 odd levels uh, out here, which is uh, almost near today's high, because or a push say till 700, the 600 to 700 would be a good zone to accumulate this stock for huge upside possibilities till 750. And that's a minimum I'm expecting, because there is a inverse head and shoulder pattern breakout which has taken place, which you can spot here for the stock. Yeah, out here, this was the shoulder, two shoulders. This is the neckline out here. So good breakout possibility taking place. So any pullback to this 600, 625, the good opportunity for upsides of 750 odd levels, where we see a lot of candles distribution, and then for approx $1,000. So again, solid potential with the low risk entry from a medium to long term perspective in this stock. Now let's have a look at the next stock. So there cannot be a list without, an IT stocks presence. We've seen HCL Tech, Persistent, Coforge, Birlasoft do superbly well, and we've also seen a huge underperformance of Wipro in the past years, and now coming out of it. And in my reading, among all the IT stocks with a potential in terms of risk reward over a medium to long term, Wipro appears to be a standout one. Not that the other IT stocks will not do well, they can also do well, because in my reading, the IT sector has a huge upside still open for it. Now, Wipro is Azim Premji Group company. It is India's fourth largest global IT company. It has over 1,100 customers, and it has a history of mergers and acquisitions in its whole period since its listing. It has acquired 26 companies in the IT sector. Now, the promoter holding is huge at 72.93%. FII is 6.47%, which is alarmingly low for an IT stock, large cap IT stock. Domestic institutions, 8.03, while the public holds 12.43%. Among the non-promoter holders, LIC is at 4.59% and JP Morgan at 2.43%. Let's have a look at the charts now. Now, as you can see in the quarterly charts, a good sharp move. And then from 2000, it literally did not do anything for 10 years. You can see this phase got stuck in a triangle out there. And then from the COVID lows, we saw a sharp move, and again similarly a sharp pullback from all the levels of 700 all the way down to 350, a 50% kind of pullback took place in the stock. And now again, trying to push its way. Again, a good sign in the quarterly charts. It's closed above the Ichimoku baseline. Now, coming to the monthly, we can see a lot of consolidation took place in this zone. This was the breakout area, way at 300 and around 365. It's done a huge consolidation from April 23 till October 23. 6 months of solid now pushing its way up with a resistance around 525. Let's have a look at the weekly charts. In the weekly charts, you can see a bullish harmonic alt bat reversal took place in April. We saw a small pullback, again a pullback, the gap up out here. The two gap downs in the stock, one made in April 22 and one earlier to that in Jan 22. That's just around the Ukraine crisis time. And since then, good pushback, completed a bullish harmonic seahorse pattern target recently in that. And in the daily, you can see a inverse head and shoulder breakout in the stock, which took place out here. From there, a breakout, a full pullback of that, and then another sharp move from there. So again, a stock, phenomenal possibility of further upside. Very strong support near 450 for the stock. You can see it in the daily there where the breakout has taken place. Even in the weekly, we can see that 425, 450 with resistance coming up at 500 for the stock in the weekly. So a good accumulation zone would be between 400, 25, 50 all the way to 500, currently trading at 475. So midway, both the sides, because above that we have possible breakouts. For possible upside targets in this stock would be 550 short term, short to medium term 650, and long term would be somewhere near 850 to 1250 as per the monthly projections of Ichimoku. So we have 850, 1225 possibilities in the coming months to years for the stock. So again, another stock where strong upside possibility from an investing point of view, where one could accumulate from a steady point of view and make a lot of wealth creation in this one. So I hope you all have liked this video. It's of help to you. Please do like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Wishing you a phenomenally prosperous and healthy and happy 2024. And please do your research properly. Don't just go blankly on this particular video. This is just an educational one based on Ichimoku, harmonics, and Fibonacci. And then take your picks of stocks. Until then, happy investing, everyone.